We're really glad you're joining us for this tutorial because it's super fun. It depicts a cat in a spacesuit and it's done with acrylic ink and other materials. So let's get into it. The first thing we need to do is draft up our space cat. The paper we'll be using is some Montmartre mixed media paper. This paper has a weight of 300 GSM and it's amazing. The painting is going to be done at A4, but it's always a good idea to use an A3 sheet so you have enough room on the sides for the tape. We are also using an A3 drawing board here, but a piece of masonite will suffice also. We then refer to the first reference image that can be found on our website, and we draw in the profile of the helmet. Once the helmet profile is drawn up, we use acrylic matte medium here and squeeze some out onto the paper and spread it out in a consistent layer over the page using the biggest brush we have. This will make the paper a lot more resilient when we add lots of layers of ink. Once this coat is dry, we can tape it to the board. Clear, good quality packing tape is really good for this. Next we can use masking fluid to mask out the inside edge of the outline. This is a latex rubber that is waterproof and can easily be removed after the background coat is done. Use a flat Tacklon to apply the fluid and wash it out immediately or you will ruin your brush. We can then begin to lay in our background by laying in cadmium yellow and mixing orange into either side. Scarlet is then mixed into either side of the orange, followed by violet and then phthalo blue. These are best laid in with a 50mm brush, and we can then soften it all with a mop brush. We let this partially dry and add more colour over the top to give it some depth. We then just keep refining until we are happy with the effect. The beauty of this is because acrylic paint dries, you can lay subsequent layers over the top and not remove the underlying colour. So once we are happy, we let this dry and pour out some white, and using a hog bristle brush, flick the bristles to create lots of stars. Once the stars are dry, we can remove the masking fluid. You can use your finger to do this. Next, the cat can be drawn in using a sharp pencil. Refer to the reference sheet for this step. Now the pencil work is in, we can apply the ink. We fill a little vessel with black ink and using a dipper pen redraw in the line work. This is a Montmartre dipper pen and we are using the number 003 nib. Apart from the line work, we also lay in areas of deep shadow and any very dark stripes. Stay inspired and don't miss a video from us. Subscribe and leave a comment below with what you'd like us to create next. We'd love to hear from you. The next stage is to create some lighter tones, so we create some lighter washes. Obviously, these can be lightened with water. The washes can then be applied with a liner brush. For larger blocks of colour, a mop brush can be used. To suggest a translucent visor, we created a very light tone of phthalo blue and laid it in stronger at the edge of the visor, making sure the background can be seen beneath. The helmet is then laid in with turquoise. As we worked across it, we added more water into it to subtly lighten it. Once you get the hang of acrylic ink, you realise how much control you have with the medium. We then add more turquoise to our space cat's suit. We paint his earphones in with orange and then create a yellow ochre with a touch of orange and paint in the fur on his face. His nose can be painted in with orange and lightened with white. The eyes are painted in with bright green, carefully using that liner brush again. make sure some highlights are left, and voila! Well, thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and we hope you enjoy some acrylic inks if you use them.